The fire softly warms the room while snow is dancing through the night. An old wooden box beside the window holds the words we left behind. I trace the paper with my fingertips. Each page still carries yesterday. The ink has faded into silence, but not the things we couldn't say. Outside the world is dressed in white. Inside my heart your colors stay. Some memories never asked for permission. They simply find their way. Winter letters wrapped in time, keeping pieces of your life in mine. Every sentence, every line feels like snow that never melts away. I read them slowly, one by one, until the morning meets the sun. Though your voice is far from here, it still lives inside these winter letters. Table, casting shadows on the floor. Each folded page becomes a doorway to the love we knew before. The cold outside can't reach the warmth. Your words still live inside my soul. Even after all this distance, they somehow make me whole. Maybe love was never by the time we got to keep. Maybe it's the little moments that our hearts are meant to keep. If I must leave the past behind, I'll carry gratitude, not regret. Winter letters, soft and warm, like the quiet before the dawn. Though the seasons always change, your kindness still remains. I'll close the box without goodbye and watch the snow embrace the sky. Some stories never truly end. They simply learn to rest within. When the last snowflake touches the ground, I'll smile instead of cry. Because love doesn't disappear with winter. It becomes a gentle memory, waiting for spring inside the heart. You never said the words out loud. No final kiss beneath the sky. We slowly drifted into strangers without a reason, without a fight. The morning still arrived on time. The world kept spinning as before. Somewhere between your silence, you stopped knocking at my door. No shattered dreams upon the floor, no tears for anyone to see. Just empty space between two hearts, growing quietly. An invisible goodbye, falling like the morning light. No last embrace, no last I love you, just fading out of sight. Some endings leave no footprints, no memories little bookstore where we laughed until sunset. The shelves have changed, the seasons too, but I haven't forgotten yet. I smile at strangers passing by as if my soul has learned to hide. Sometimes healing looks like living while breaking deep inside. If love can disappear too softly, maybe pain can leave that way. I'll gather every broken sunrise and slowly build a brighter day. Not because you never mattered, but because I finally do. An invisible goodbye never asked me how to survive. Still I find a quiet courage somewhere underneath the night. I'll carry what was beautiful and leave behind the fear. Because love can end in silence, yet still make us stronger here. The hardest goodbye is the one no one ever hears. But even silent endings can become the beginning of a heart learning to love itself again. The shoreline keeps our footprints hidden, washed away before the dawn. Still the sea remembers every promise, even after you've been gone. I watch the waves return so gently, like they never learned goodbye. Each whisper carried by the ocean brings your name into the night. The moon still paints the water silver, like nothing ever changed. But every tide that finds the shore leaves my heart the same. Silent tides keep calling me, pulling dreams out to the sea. Every wave carries your light, fading softly through the night. I let the ocean hold my tears and wash away these endless years. Though you're gone beyond the blue, the tides still lead me back to you. A lonely lighthouse keeps on shining, guiding strangers safely home. I wonder if its quiet heartbeat knows how it feels to be alone. Seagulls drift across the skyline, free from everything we feared, while I collect the broken seashells like little pieces of the years. Maybe love is like the ocean, never asking where to end. It changes with the winds of heaven, yet always finds the shore again. I'll thank the waves for what they gave, then let tomorrow take my hand. Silent tides keep calling me, but they no longer pull me underneath. Every sunrise on the water brings a little hope to me. I'll carry every beautiful memory When the tide returns tomorrow, it won't bring you back to me, but it will remind me that even the deepest oceans eventually find the calm. Morning light falls through the window, painting diamonds on the floor. Every beam reminds me softly of the life we had before. Your reflection lives in silence, like a picture made of air. I reach my hand toward forever, but only emptiness is there. Some moments never lose their color, even when the years go by. They shine like fragile pieces beneath the quiet sky. Glass memories shining in my hands, beautiful but never meant to last. Every little crack reminds me nothing perfect ever stays. I hold them close without pretending they could ever be the same. Though they sparkle in the sunlight, I won't bleed for them again. The mirror catches fading echoes of the girl I used to be. She believed that love was endless, like the stars above the sea. Now I smile a little wiser, with a heart that's learned to bend. Even broken glass can shimmer when it meets the light again. If I gathered every fragment, I still wouldn't build our past. Some things only stay beautiful when we finally let them pass. So I'll leave the pieces where they fell and thank them for the light they held. Glass memories clear as yesterday, floating gently as they fade away. Every tear becomes a diamond, every scar becomes a flame. I'm no longer afraid of breaking. I've survived the deepest pain. Now these fragile memories only help me shine again. The glass may never be whole again, but neither am I. And somehow we're both still beautiful when the light shines through. dancing softly in the air. The old oak tree still held our secrets, carved beneath its weathered skin. Time had changed almost everything except the place we'd been. The roses never asked where you went. The breeze still sings your tune. Nature keeps on blooming gently long after love is through. Back where we bloomed, the flowers still remember you. Every petal holds a promise, every color feels so true. Though your footsteps disappeared, the earth still keeps them near. Love may leave without a warning, but beauty stays right here. Beside the river waits beneath the willow tree. I sat alone and closed my eyes, let the wind speak back to me. It carried laughter from another summer, like a melody set free. For one small moment in the silence, it felt like you were next to me. I won't ask the seasons to rewind or beg the blossoms not to fade. Every ending plants a seed for another brighter day. I'll carry what we grew together, even if we grew apart. Back where we bloomed, I found the strongest part of me. Not in holding on forever, but in learning how to leave. The flowers reach toward the sky, just as I learned how to rise. Some gardens bloom for only one spring, yet their fragrance lasts a lifetime. As I walked away, a single flower leaned into the light, and I finally understood. Some loves are meant to bloom, even if they're never meant to stay. The leaves are dancing down the sidewalk, just like dreams we couldn't hold. Every season tells a story, some too beautiful to keep. I wear your memory like moonlight, soft upon my quiet skin. You are gone beyond the skyline, still somehow you linger in the wind. I don't chase the past anymore, but some nights it finds my door, like a melody returning home. When the world is sleeping, I'm falling slowly, not from love but into healing. Every tear becomes an ocean, every wave a new beginning. Your goodbye became the silence where I learned to hear my soul. I'm falling slowly, but I'm finally letting go. still bloom above the rooftops, unaware of all my fears. I used to count them with your laughter, now I count them through my tears. Even broken skies find morning, even winter learns to bloom. Maybe hearts are made for breaking, so they can make more room. If your name returns tomorrow, I'll greet it like an old refrain, not with longing or regret, but with gratitude instead. You were the chapter that changed my life, not the ending of my story. I'm falling slowly into brighter shades of blue. Every sunrise whispers gently, there's still a life beyond you. I'll carry every beautiful memory without carrying the pain. I'm falling slowly and finding myself again. The wind still knows your name, but my heart has learned its own. And somewhere beyond the silence, I'm finally coming home. The sunset wrapped the sky in amber, like it knew we'd reached the end. Your hand slipped softly from my fingers, without a word, without pretend. The wind carried our final silence across the hills we used to know. Love didn't leave with broken pieces, it left with a golden glow. Some endings aren't made of sorrow, they're quiet blessings in disguise. A gentle page that's slowly turning beneath familiar skies. A golden goodbye, shining through my tears tonight. Not every ending has to break us, some teach our hearts to find the light. I'll remember how you loved me more than how we fell apart, because even when forever ends, love can leave a golden heart. The autumn leaves kept gently falling, like little letters from the trees. Each one whispered something simple, some souls are meant to leave. I walked the road without looking back, though every step still knew your name. The pain grew lighter with the distance, but the gratitude remained. If we meet beneath another sunrise, years from now in another place, I hope we'll smile without pretending, carrying peace upon our faces. Some loves are never lost completely, they become the light we keep. A golden goodbye, brighter than the tears I cried. You were never just my heartache, you were part of who as if heaven wanted me to know that the most beautiful goodbyes don't erase love. They simply teach it how to shine forever. I walked beneath the old oak trees where summer used to touch our skin. The road was quiet, the sky was fading, and memories came rushing in. I heard the sound of distant laughter, or maybe it was just my mind. I stopped beside the empty garden, waiting for a sign. Something moved across my shoulder, soft enough to feel like you. I closed my eyes for just a moment and let the feeling through. It was only the wind, but it sounded like your voice, passing through the trees again, like we still had a choice. It carried pieces of our summer through the corners of my heart. I knew you weren't coming back, but for a moment you weren't far. Curtains danced inside the window at the house we called our home. I remembered late September evenings when neither of us felt alone. There were dreams beside the fireplace, plans we thought would never end. Now the room is dark and empty, and the wind is my only friend. I don't need to hear you clearly, I don't need to turn around. Sometimes love becomes a whisper that disappears without a sound. It was only the wind, but it brought you back to me, through the branches and the shadows, through a distant memory. It reminded me that's what memories do. They visit when they want. They never ask if you're ready. They simply come and go. So I'll let the evening take you without asking you to stay. Some things are beautiful precisely because they cannot remain. Goodbye. The night grew still around me. The trees stopped moving too. There was nothing left to hear, only the wind and a heart finally learning to remember you. in peace. I found your photograph this morning underneath an old blue chair. There was dust across the edges, but I could still see us in there. Two young hearts without a warning, thinking time would let us stay. We didn't know that even forever could quietly drift away. I brushed the dust from your face, but left the picture where it lay. Some memories don't need to follow, they just need a place to stay. There's still dust of us on the things we left behind, little pieces of a love that once filled my entire life. I don't need to bring it back, I don't need to make it new. I'll let the dust remain where the past belongs to you. Your old jacket's in the closet, still holding traces of your scent. I almost reached to take it with me, then remembered what it meant. There are books we never finished, there are songs we never played, and 1,000 tiny moments that no photograph could save. I used to think that letting go meant pretending we were wrong. Now I know some beautiful things can simply not belong. There's still dust of us on the corners of my mind, little fragments of a love that I don't have to leave behind. I can keep the good we had without asking you to return. Some memories are meant to fade, not everything must burn. Maybe one day I'll move these boxes, maybe I'll repaint the walls. Maybe someone new will enter where your footsteps used to fall. And if I find that photograph again, I won't turn my eyes away. I'll smile at who we used to be, then gently put it back. There's still dust of us in the quiet of this room, but it doesn't hurt like yesterday, it doesn't feel like doom. We were real, we were beautiful, we were everything we knew. And even though the story ended, I'm grateful that it once was you. The dust will settle slowly, the memories will too, and somewhere underneath it all, I'll always keep a little piece of us. I sent a message at 11, 3 little words I couldn't hide. Watch the screen turn from delivered to that little mark that said you tried. The city kept its lights wide open, Cars were moving down the street, but I was frozen in the silence, waiting for a word from you to reach me. Maybe you were busy, maybe you didn't know what to say. Maybe somewhere in your heart you'd already walked away. You left me on red with 1,000 things inside my head. I kept staring at the screen, at a conversation that used to mean everything. No goodbye, no reason why, just the little dots that never arrived. Sometimes silence hurts instead, especially when you leave me on red. I deleted what I wanted to send you and typed it all again. I wrote about the way I missed you, then erased it in the end. Your profile showed you were online, but you never opened that door. Funny how a tiny blue screen can make a heart feel so small. I stopped making excuses, stop pretending you were near. Sometimes the answer isn't written, sometimes it's simply clear. You left me on red, and I finally heard what you never said. I don't need another explanation, I don't need another conversation. No goodbye, no final line, just a silence I can't redefine. I thought I needed words instead, but I found my answer in red. So put my phone away tonight, let the darkness turn to light. If you wanted me, you'd find a way. I don't have to beg you to stay. Some messages aren't meant to be answered, they're meant to teach us when to leave. You left me on red, but I'm not waiting anymore. Instead, I'll let the silence close the door and become the woman I was before. No goodbye, no final sign, just a lesson written between the lines. You left me on red, and somehow I finally read myself. The screen went dark, the night moved on, and for the first time I didn't check if you